The House Democrats, and they're actually going to be briefing reporters at the bottom of the hour, and the live mics with the flags ready to go. We're going to take that live the minute it happens, expecting it in 6 minutes or so. You also just heard from the live mics and the flags from the House Republican leaders on their plan to reach a deal to raise the debt limit and end the government shutdown. It includes some parts of the Senate plan that Harry Reid was referring to, but there are some pretty key differences, too, in changes to Obamacare. They are way smaller than they were 2 weeks ago, but they're key nonetheless. The House plan would eliminate health care subsidies for Congress, the Vice President, the President, and members of the Cabinet. It would also include a 2-year delay on that medical devices tax. If you don't think that's a big deal, it's a big part of the revenue, folks. And it would also get rid of the 1-year labor union Obamacare tax holiday. So with those 3 key provisions, I'm joined now by Democratic Congressman Charlie Rangel. Congressman, thanks so much for being with us. Your live reaction, as you're probably hearing within the last few hours about these provisions in the House. This is something that you're probably going to have to look at pretty shortly and vote on. What do you think?
Well, it's embarrassing, and I'm certain that history is going to record that this is the lowest moment that we've had in the Congress.
What's embarrassing about it?
Well, when you say that you're putting the whole country's fiscal integrity on the line, when you say that you're closing up the government, and you're still running around there to developing countries telling they should be doing with their budget and what democracy is all about, not only is it embarrassing from an international point of view, but the hundreds of thousands of Americans that are suffering pain as a result of the government. But I asked you about this deal. I
get it. This whole thing has been embarrassing,
well,
and that involves you as well, sir, because you're part of all of this. What I'm asking you about is this deal that we've just learned about, the provisions that have just come out today from the House Republican leadership. I wanted your reaction to those specific 3 provisions. What do you think? Can you deal with it?
Well, I'm very, very optimistic about what the leadership has said in the Senate. This isn't a question of the House and Senate differing. This is not even a question of Republicans and Democrats differing. This is all about a handful of people who got elected as Republicans that want to bring down our government. You can see it in the streets. You can see where they're coming from. And the same way they fought as Confederates, they want to bring down the government and reform it.
Wait a minute. Whoa. I'm sorry. Are you likening, and I'm only assuming you're referring to the Tea Party members who are pretty intransigent on their views. Are you likening them to Confederates?
Well, I can tell you this. If you take a look at the states that they control, take a look at the Dixiecrats, see how they went over to the Republican Party, and see
Michelle Bachmann is not from Dixie. What are you talking about?
I am telling you one thing. If the Republicans really want to bring the government back, if the Republicans want to make certain that this country maintains its fiscal integrity, all they have to do is to accept the Senate. Already they're fighting what the Senate hasn't even formally proposed. They're adding things onto this to cause a problem. The American people want us to act as adults. They want to make certain the government opens, make certain that our veterans are treated fairly, and they're not saying that they're going to embrace and work with the Senate, who Republicans and Democrats lead working together. Yes.
I get it that you don't like that position that they take, but the last I checked, they have an equal vote, as do you and those of your ilk. Doesn't that mean you've just got to deal with it, sir? You just have to deal with it and negotiate, and that's what politicking is, chipping away at both sides, including your side.
First of all, I don't think I'm going to like what the Senate comes up with, but in an effort to make certain that it reopens government, I'm prepared to do it. And as far as my ilk is concerned, the ilk is not with me and the people that support my position. The ilk is with a small group of people that if they didn't vote for this compromise and the leader of the Republican Party in the House allowed the other Republicans to do it, then the ilk would not vote for it. And the Democrats and some good Republicans that believe in compromise and opening up the government would. So the ilk isn't me. The ilk is a small number of people in the Republican Party that really is against anything that comes out of these negotiations.